Hello everyone, it's your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Like the One Only, here with another exciting live stream. So, if you didn't notice, I actually made a video a little while ago. The title of the video was, Red Lion is DC Comics Black Panther, and if you look at the thumbnail for that video above, you'll see Red Lion, who is essentially just a red Black Panther, and you'll see to the right, just Black Panther himself. And the appearance similarities are very clear, and in that video I talk about how they're essentially the same character, but one's DC and one's Marvel. Now, I got a comment on the video that I'd like to point out, because I thought it was pretty cool, and I thought it added to the discussion. So I wanted to make a video where I talked about the comment and my reply or response to said comment. So, this comment is from Skull Smasher. Thank you, Skull Smasher. Thank you, Skull Smasher, for leaving that comment. Truly appreciate it. The comment was, I have no problem with Black Panther. I have no problem with Red Lion being a slight carbon copy of Black Panther, since Marvel and DC have been copying each other's characters for decades. And I like the fact that it was Christopher Priest who created Red Lion as a nod to his own writing work on the Black Panther comic book for 5 years at Marvel. Also, I actually want Red Lion and Vixen to hook up. I can see Vixen being attracted to him, even though she may not agree with his methods. I think Red Lion and Vixen could be a play on Black Panther and Storm. I actually think that all of those comments seem very valid. For one, I did not know that Christopher Priest was the one who had created Red Lion, and who was also someone who worked on Black Panther for 5 years. That actually changes up my thought on it heavily. So yes, I agree that Marvel and DC have been doing a lot of carbon copy characters for years. But I feel like as of recent, DC's been doing it significantly more than I've seen in the past. Especially with DC's brand of new heroes, it seems like a lot of them are just Marvel carbon copies, but they're being slapped on as the new face of DC, and I'm not entirely okay with that. However, this seems more like a self-homage, or kind of like Christopher Priest wants to write more Black Panther, but he's currently with DC, so the easiest way to solve that problem is to just make a facsimile that just goes within the DC universe. And I feel a little bit better about that because good things have come from writers doing stuff like this in the past. An example would be what I put in my reply. So my reply says, that's actually an interesting idea. It talks about how I didn't know that Red Lion was created by someone who had such a strong connection to Black Panther. What it reminds me of is Jack Kirby having worked on the New Gods comic with DC, and then later on creating the similar title, The Eternals, with Marvel. Essentially, both have very similar concepts, but they're just explored in different comic book universes. Jack Kirby's New Gods title ended up getting canceled at DC, so he was like, how am I going to be able to tell the story I want to tell? So when he ended up going to Marvel, he created the Eternals, which allowed him to tell the New God story that he wanted to, but it just took place in a different comic book universe. And I feel like Christopher Priest may be doing something similar with Red Lion. Maybe he has more stories that he wants to do with Black Panther, but currently he's working with DC, so the best way for him to create these Black Panther stories that he wants to tell, he simply will tell them through Red Lion, but in the DC universe. So that actually is really cool. What are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like it's a good thing for writers to continue their stories in other comic book universes by creating essentially carbon copy characters, or do you feel like that takes away from the character or story that they originally created? Also, what are your thoughts on Vixen and Storm, the parallels there with what Skull Smasher said about the possibility of a Red Lion Vixen hookup and similar to Black Panther and Storm? Anyways, thank you all for watching. If you like this video, make sure to like this video, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ding ding ding, ring that bell so you're notified whenever we do these live streams. This is your host, your friend, your boy, Jet Like the One Only, logging out. Peace.